Hello everybody, how's y'all doing? Now today, as you can see from what's on screen, I'm going to be talking about Jetpack Joyride. Now you might be asking, Antoine, you're 20 years old, why the fuck are you talking about Jetpack Joyride, a game that's been alive since 2011, since I was basically 7? I don't know, but it has cool math in it that I decided, because I started playing the game, I downloaded the game recently and I was like, started playing, you know, and then I realized like, oh, the system wants to fool you. Or does it? Who knows? Now, if any of you have played Jetpack Joyride before, which I'm assuming a lot of people have, because it was a very popular game, you'd know that doing runs in the game, I'm not going to explain the intricacies of the runs themselves, you get something called a spin token. Now, what is it? What is a spin token? A spin token, basically, at the end of the game, when you die, they accumulate over the game. You collect them. They're just flying, so you gotta collect them. And what happens is, at the end of the game gives you two choices. You can either gacha, which means risk for a reward, your spin token, or cash in. Now, cashing in your spin token, there's no risk to it. But all it does is, for every one spin, you get 100 gold. Gacha has a lot of different branches. Thing is, let's say you have 100, or for easier math calculations later on, we're going to assume we have 200 tokens, right? Accumulated over 50 games. It doesn't really matter about the games that you played. Let's say you got 200 tokens. Let's say somehow you got 200 tokens in one game, right? What's better to do? To cash them all in? Cash in? Or risk? What's better? Now, let's say you got those 200 tokens across several games, because it helps a little bit with the makes it harder, makes some calculations harder, but also it makes it more fair for the calculation of the gold, right? All we care about is calculating the two amounts of gold that each one give us. Cashing in is easy. Cash in is equal to 200 multiplied by 100, which is 20,000 gold. That's a lot of gold. It's not bad, I'd say, for an amount of gold. Anyway, now what can I do with 200 tokens if I gacha all of them? So let's say I have 200, right? Well, actually, since it's gacha, it'll work only about 50% of the time, right? So 50 of these will be 100 of these will be lost, and 100 of these will be wins. Now, that's the odds that you kind of would like to have, but it's not really that. It's more like, it's not really a 50-50. It's not. It's more like, I think, I don't know if there's actually a statistic, I think it's more like a 65-35, you know, per each 100. So this isn't exactly 100 with another 100, this is more like 130 and 70. So really, you're getting 70 wins. Now, you're thinking, oh shit, only 70 wins out of 200? I doubt that's going to be useful, because now this equates to 7,000 gold only, if I were to cash this in. But stick with me. 70 wins, right? 70 wins, we know that these are spin tokens that have succeeded, basically, right? Now the question is, what do I get if I succeed? And that's 10 different options. We have, if I remember correctly, 4 bads and 6 good. Now, let me explain. These 4 bad options, they're just options which whenever you get, it's kind of like a, oh, alright. Which are the small, big, and huge bombs, plus the 750 meter head start. Whenever you get any of those, it's just a huge nothing burger. You feel no sense of accomplishment. You get nothing basically for getting any of these. I personally never use the 750 meters, so it's just sitting there collecting. So yeah, these are pointless. Now we have 6 good. This is for every 10, because there are a total of 10 options you can get. 4 of them are bad, 6 of them are good. Out of the gacha, basically. So the 6 good ones include the following. You have a 200 gold jackpot. You have a 1000 gold jackpot. And a 2000 gold jackpot. If I remember correctly, I think these were the numbers. We're gonna roll with those. It could be different, which will vary calculations a little bit, but let's roll with those for now. Then we have a 2 times gold multiplier for the next game. We have 3 bonus spin tokens, which means whatever you have in that moment, it adds 3 to that. And let me try to remember, what was the final one? And the revive. Right? So, realistically, out of these 70 wins, we're going back to the wins now. Since I told you guys what the good ones are, out of 70 wins, you can tell, right? So 4 out of every 10 will be bad. So in this case, you're going to have 28 bad wins, and you're going to have 42 good ones. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it makes sense. 42 good outcomes. That's not bad. Now, for simplicity, I'm going to assume each of these outcomes is equally likely. So out of these 42 divided by 6, you have 7 of each outcome. 7 of each, right? Now, follow, because this is where this gets a bit complicated. 7 of each outcome means you have 7 times 200 gold, 7 times 1000 gold, 7 times 2000 gold, 7 2x multipliers, 7 3 bonuses, and 7 revives. Now, if you just look at this, right, the gold already outweighs the other gold. Let me, just look at this, right? This is 14,000 gold that you're getting from just 7. Just keep in mind, out of 200 spin tokens, 200, the initial ones, only 7 of them have to give you the biggest jackpot for you to get 14,000. You're gonna get this one, which gives you 7,000, this one, which gives you 1,400. Just adding those, let me just do this calculation real quick. 14,000 plus 7,000 plus 1,400, that's 20, if you add them, 22,400 gold. That's just from the first 3. Just from those. Not to mention 7 2x multipliers. Roughly in a game, you get 2,000 gold, unless you're one of my friends who gets somehow 8,000. Fuck me if I know. But if you get, let's say I'm gonna go middle between 2,000 and 8. Let's say it's gonna be 4,000 if you're really good at the game, right? 4,000 in a typical game with a multiplier. That's 8. 8. You know what I mean? 8. So 7 times 2k. Let's say you're not even consistently getting 4k. Let's say you're consistently getting only 2k. I'm mitigating your wins at this point, just to make it more plausible, right? If you get 2k extra per round, that's 14,000 gold extra that you're getting. 7 3+ tokens. If I were to cash all of those, then that's 21 times 100. That's 2,100. Right, let's say I would cash them in, because if I'm gonna re-put these back into the system and try to recalibrate, it's gonna be a whole mess. So approximately, it's a bit like 2,100-ish, you know. And the 7 revives are just very fun. They're cool, you know. They might give you a total of, let's say, a couple spin tokens. You might collect, right? Maybe a couple thousand gold. So we'll approximate. We'll say 4,000 gold total from all of this. Now, just to sum this all up, you have 22,400 plus 14,000 plus 2,100 plus 4,000. Right? This is how much you got. This turns out to be plus 14,000 plus 2,100 plus 4,000. This is 42,500 gold. If this is from gacha, 20,000 was cash in. If you just cash in 200 tokens as they were, you would only get 20,000. More than double. Which means even if I was wrong, even if you halved all of these, even if you halved this, like if you had, let's say, 4 of everything here, if you had only 4 of each, not even 7, so you had an even lower chance, you had less than 70 wins, you had probably like 50 wins if so, you know? If you had 50 wins, you'd still be able to get 20k maybe, or around that, 21k maybe, 22k, if you were to slash all of your buffs in half. And I mean, I'm being really like mitigating this number here, because I'm saying that only 14,000 gold extra. We said 2,000 gold per game. That's probably something more like 3,000 or 4,000. The spin tokens themselves probably worth more in this case. I just tried to, you know, give them a sort of value. 7 revives could be worth way more than 4,000 games depending on where the revive happened. If you get one of those games that you were collecting spin tokens and finished really early and you got like 2 revives that game, yeah, damn, it's just gonna give you a lot of gold. So, point of story is, just by very quick math calculations, never cash in. That's the goal. Always risk it. Always play the game where you slot the game. Stay gaming, Jetpack Joyriders.